All right. So have you ever booked like one of those vacation rentals
Mhm.
based on, those like really nice professional pictures online?
Mm.
And then when you get there, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
not quite what I was expecting.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
Yeah, me too. It can be pretty disappointing, like when reality doesn't really match,
Yeah.
what you saw in
Hmm.
the pictures online.
It's like the online world is full of, surprises sometimes.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And that's kind of what we're going to be diving into today. We're going to be talking about Airbnb photography.
Hmm.
And I know that might sound kind of like a niche topic,
Right.
but it's actually super fascinating.
Mm.
So you sent me some advice from this really experienced Airbnb host,
Yeah.
and it really like changed the way that I think about like presenting properties online.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way to think about things.
Yeah. So whether you are a seasoned host yourself or you're just thinking about maybe, getting into the whole Airbnb thing,
Yeah.
I think you're really going to enjoy this deep dive. We're going to uncover some really interesting insights about, how to show your space off online in a way that's authentic,
Yeah.
but also doesn't mislead people.
Yeah, and I think this is like a perfect example of that whole you know, under promise and over deliver thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the core philosophy of this host.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this whole like under promise, over deliver idea. Like,
Yeah.
why is it so important when it comes to like vacation rentals?
Well, when you think about it, you're inviting somebody into your space, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're making a decision based on those pictures online.
Yeah.
So if they show up and the place is like totally different or
Yeah.
not as nice,
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem, right? Like they're not going to trust you. They might not leave a good review.
Right.
But when when you under promise and you over deliver,
Right.
people are delighted, and there's research
Yeah.
that shows that guests who are really happy, they're more likely to leave a good review. They're going to tell their friends about it, and they might even come back again.
Right.
So it's really about building trust.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
One of the things that this host recommended that really surprised me was that like you should just use your smartphone for the photos,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I kind of feel like in this day and age where everything is so visual,
Mhm.
I feel like maybe you need like a professional photographer to really make your place stand out.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But think about it, like those professional photos, they can be really beautiful,
Yeah.
but they can also be kind of like too perfect, Like it's like this idealized version of the place.
Yeah.
And then people show up and it's like, it's not quite as perfect
Yeah.
as it looked in the pictures.
Right.
But when you use your smartphone, it's
Yeah.
like you're saying, hey, this is my place. This is what it actually looks like, warts and all.
Right.
And I'm confident that you're still going to love it. It's
Yeah.
almost like more honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see the appeal in that. Okay. So let's talk about some of the specific photography tips that this host had,
Okay. Yeah.
because some of them were pretty unexpected.
Yeah.
One thing that they recommended was shooting from the corners of a room
Mm.
instead of just from the center.
Yeah.
Now, why is that?
Well, it's all about helping people to see like what the space is actually like.
Okay.
When you shoot from the corner, you get more of the room in the picture, so
Mhm.
people can really get a sense of like the size and the layout.
Right.
Imagine you're looking at a picture of a living room and it looks super spacious,
Yeah.
but it's taken from the center.
Mhm.
And then you show up with your family of 5
Yeah.
and it's actually tiny.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
Not good at all. Yeah.
But if you shoot from the corner,
Yeah.
you can see more of the walls, you can see the furniture,
Right.
how it all fits together. So people can really like visualize themselves being in that space
Yeah.
and, avoid those surprises.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then this was a really interesting one. This host also recommended opening drawers and cabinets,
Yeah.
but not for like, staging,
Right.
but to actually show what's inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of weird when you think about it.
yeah, I know it's like a little bit different, but I
Yeah.
think it's really smart
Yeah.
because it's all about like, our listener loves like detail.
Yes. Very thorough.
Yeah.
Wants to know everything.
Exactly. And this is like taking that to the next level. It's
Right.
like saying, hey, look, I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah.
Here are the pots and pans. Here are the, extra blankets,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you can see exactly what you're getting.
Right.
So there are no surprises.
Right. They're like full transparency.
Exactly. And it builds trust
Mm-hmm.
because people know that you're not trying to like hide anything from them.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Another thing that this host talked about was emphasizing the exterior and the neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
in your photos,
Mm.
which I thought was interesting
Yeah.
because I feel like a lot of times people just focus on the interior.
Right. It's all about
Yeah.
like how beautiful the kitchen is in the bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But why is the exterior and the neighborhood so important?
Well, think about it. Like, let's say you're booking a place for a family vacation.
Yeah.
You want to know what the neighborhood's like. Is it safe? Is it family friendly?
Yeah.
Is there like construction going on next? Like all those things
Right.
are important to know. And pictures of the exterior can answer those questions. So
Yeah.
it's really about providing context.
Right, like showing the bigger picture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about with the photography tips
Mm-hmm.
was this host's emphasis on using natural light.
Yeah.
So why is natural light so important for Airbnb photos?
Well, a natural light is honest. It shows the true colors and
Yeah.
the feel of a space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see those pictures where like the colors are like super saturated and everything looks like perfect.
Yeah.
It can feel kind of fake, you know?
Right.
But with natural light, it's like, this is what the place actually looks like.
Right, yeah.
And, goes back to that whole under-promise, over-deliver thing.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So speaking of Airbnb, this host did mention Airbnb's official photographer service,
Right?
which I know some people use, and it does sound kind of convenient.
Yeah, it can be really convenient.
Mm.
It saves you time. You don't have to go out and find a photographer yourself. And
Mhm.
it can also potentially save you money.
Right.
The source actually mentioned
Mhm.
it costs like 65 pounds for the Airbnb photographer
Okay.
versus like 90 pounds to hire somebody local.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's quite a difference.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a pretty good deal.
Mhm.
But I'm guessing there's a trade-off.
Yeah, the main trade-off is that you don't own the rights to the photos
Okay.
when you use Airbnb as photographer service. So if
Yeah.
you decide later on that you want to list your property
Yeah.
on a different platform,
Mm.
you can't use those pictures.
Oh, so you're kind of locked in
Yeah, kind of.
to Airbnb. Okay.
So it's really like convenience versus control.
Right.
You have to decide what's more important to you.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger takeaway here is that it's not really about the photography.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating an experience for your guests
Right.
that's genuine and transparent
Yeah.
and builds trust. It's
yeah.
all about those connections.
Yeah. So ditch the professional photographer.
Maybe.
Embrace the smartphone.
Yeah,
Show potential guests what they can actually expect.
exactly. Yeah. Keep it real.
Yeah.
I think that's the lesson here.
That's great advice.
Mhm.
And, it makes me think if, like, picture perfect can be, like, detrimental in the world of vacation rentals, what does that say about the broader culture of online presentation?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, how much of what we see online is actually real?
Right.
Something to think about, I guess.
Definitely food for thought.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for today's deep dive.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.